What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be making a new projected lineup for the Habs opening night. I already made one like 2-3 weeks ago, but I do think there's been a lot of changes and a lot of new players that have emerged and seem ready to take on the role. So before I get into the video, I just want to say we're so close to 100 subscribers, and my goal is to get 100 subs before the Habs home opener on Wednesday. So if you do enjoy this kind of content, don't be afraid to subscribe. I appreciate it greatly. So yeah, let's not waste any time and get right into line number one. So I have Hoffman with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. I know you might be looking at this and being like, Hoffman shouldn't be on the first line, and I agree with you. But I just think this is what's going to play out. I think they really enjoy the potential of the scoring ability of this line, if that makes sense. Like, this team talks a lot about potential, and so I think having Hoffman, because the only skill he has is scoring, they want to put him with Caulfield and they want to put him with Suzuki because they think that'll be a high point, high scoring kind of line. Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, obviously first line. It's just the winger that's questionable, and I think they may put Hoffman there. As for line number two, I have Brendan Gallagher with Christian Dvorak and Josh Anderson, also known as Spider-Man. Anyways, so this is more of like a veteran lineup, in my opinion. Obviously, Gallagher, I originally had him on the third line, but now, seeing as how well he's been playing and how healthy he looks, I think he's going to be second line minimum. Maybe he'll take that first line spot instead of Hoffman, but I do think he'll play on the second line alongside Christian Dvorak and Josh Anderson. I think Josh Anderson and Dvorak have good chemistry. They seem to be paired up together quite often, so I think that's what our second line might look like. It's a good shutdown line, but they also have some scoring abilities. They grind a lot. They hit a lot. It's just a good all-around line. Can't complain if that's your second line, Anyways, moving on to line number three. We have Jonathan Drouin with Kirby Dach, and here's where it gets tricky. I have either Rem Pitlick or Juraj Slafkovsky next to them. I don't know which one's going to make the team, but I think it's between these two who might get that last spot. Obviously, there's a couple spots too that are going to be taken, but that's more the fourth line that gets questionable. But yeah, that's my third line. I think Kirby Dach can start up on the third line for now. He's been looking really good, but they've been pairing him a lot with Rem Pitlick. I think maybe they see some kind of chemistry there, and they're going to keep pursuing that, hoping that it turns into a good duo. But also, we've seen that Kirby Dach and Juraj Slafkovsky have been paired up as well. So that's why I've put either Rem Pitlick or Juraj Slafkovsky on the wing. I think it's between one of those two to get there. See, I don't think Juraj Slafkovsky is going to get top minutes. I'm not even sure if he's going to make the team. So if he does, I think he will be on the third line next to Kirby Dach. As for Jonathan Drouin, he could go a bit anywhere, but I don't think they're going to put him on the fourth line. But I also don't think he's been good enough to go on the first or second line. Could be completely wrong, and he ends up on the first line with Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But for now, that's what I have as my third line. Now, for line number four, this is where it gets a little weird because I have Jake Evans on the left wing with Sean Monahan down the middle and Yoel Armia on the right side. Now, if it was up to me, I wouldn't even put Armia in the lineup as well as Hoffman, all those veterans that just shouldn't get a chance. But they will get a chance just because they're vets and they need some kind of elderly responsibility, I guess you could say. Now, Evans usually does play center, but so does Monahan. And I think these guys could intertwine and they could both play either wing or center. So it might be Evans down the center and Monahan on the wing. Don't really know yet, but I think they're both compatible enough to play either position. Like we've seen in the past, Evans has played on the wing, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does start off the season on the wing next to Sean Monahan. Now, there's a couple guys that I scratched off the top of the head. The only ones I could really remember are Evgeny Dadonov and Pizzetta. So I don't know. I would love to see Pizzetta play. Dadonov, I really couldn't care about. But yeah, I would really love to see Pizzetta make the team. I just don't know if there's enough space for him at the moment. Maybe if a couple injuries come in, he'll for sure make it, but I don't think he starts the season with the Habs. All right, moving on to the defensive pairings. This is where it gets really tricky because you have 3 NHLers and 3 other spots to fill, which are all going to be pretty much rookies. So what I've done is I've put 1 veteran with 1 rookie for each pairing. Now for pairing number 1, we have Caden Gooley next to David Savard. Out of all the rookies, I do think Caden Gooley has the most maturity and he's the most NHL ready, which is why I'm giving him top minutes with David Savard. We've seen this pairing multiple times lately, if it was in practice or if it was during preseason games. These two just seem to play a lot together and there's some good chemistry there. So I think this will be a legit pairing that we will be seeing on opening night and maybe for the whole season. As for pairing number 2, I have Mike Matheson next to Jordan Harris. Now, both Jordan Harris and Mike Matheson are left-sided defensemen, but Harris has been said that he's practiced playing on the right side, which helps out this team a lot because we have too many left-sided defense and not enough right-sided. So I think he's going to play next to Matheson because I do think their play styles kind of mimic each other a bit. Obviously, Matheson's skating is way better, but they both move the puck around and they're both quite solid when it comes to defense. So I think that's going to be our second pairing. Now, for my favorite pairing, this is pairing number 3, and I have Arbor Jacki next to Chris Weidman. This is kind of like the bully line. Obviously, Chris Weidman is small, but he still sticks up for his teammates, and so does Arbor Jacki. So I think having these two together is really good. Both these defense are good when it comes to moving the puck around and driving the offense. Their physicality is also top-notch. But when it comes to defensive abilities, it might lack a little on like Chris Weidman, for example. He's not the best defenseman. He's a bit of a liability back there sometimes, which is why he's on the third pairing. And I'm not saying Arbor Jacki is bad defensively. He's actually quite good, but I think he's going to have to take a bit more time to get used to the NHL defensive play style. So yeah, that's why I have these guys on the third pairing. But like I said, this is my favorite one, and I think this will be a lot of fun to watch because they're going to hit people all the time. They're still going to drive the offense. And it's just tons of fights are going to break out with this third pairing. So yeah, that's what I think my defensive pairings are going to look like. Now for the goalies, it's pretty obvious. I have Jake Allen in net and Samuel Montembeault as the backup. Unfortunately, Caden Primo is not ready to be the backup or the starting goalie. We've seen him throughout these preseason games, and it's a little hard to watch sometimes. He's letting in like beer league goals. It sucks. He's just not strong enough yet to be an NHL goalie. So I think back to Laval it is for him. And yeah, our two goalies will be Jake Allen, obviously, and Samuel Montembeault as the backup. So yeah, those are my projected lineups for the home opener on this Wednesday, actually. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, don't be afraid to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care.